Hello, welcome back. Dale Myers with Vision Advance. Today we are going to talk about effective leaders and entrepreneurs. So you've heard me state before that I believe that leadership is the key to solving most of life's problems. Our challenge here at Vision Advance is to optimize the leader in you. We are trying to optimize your leadership and entrepreneurship potential. So we're going to give you some things that we need to be focusing on. What makes someone an effective leader? These are often some of the same things that would make you an effective entrepreneur. So the first thing we need to talk about is framing the problems. See, effective people are not associated with the who's at first. It's more about the what and why. So the first thing we want to do is focus on what happened or what problem are we dealing with? What thing are we dealing with right now? What is a real problem? Okay? And that's related to step number 2, because when I say what problem, well, you guys know, in your life, in your business, don't you have lots of problems? So, step 2 is work on the right problem. Figuring out the right problem to work on at the right time. Now, each of these are broad categories, and we're going to do a series of videos in terms of breaking these things down. But it's identifying what problems do we need to work on, and then which one is the right one for right now, the most critical one that we need to be focusing on. Focus on the right problem at the right time. And then based on that, step 3 is, now that I've identified the right problem, develop specific action plans. Develop action plans to solve the problem. Who's going to do it? Well, what needs to be done? Who's going to do it? When does it need to be done by? And how, and measure it, right? Decisions. Effective leaders are good decision makers. They use slow thinking when they're faced with big problems that have huge consequences. And we've done a video on that before, and I'll leave a link in the description below. But they use slow thinking for big problems and fast or rapid thinking for problems that have very little consequence, so we can make a quick decision and move on. We're not going to bog down our day with inconsequential things. Number 5, communication. Leaders are tasked not only with being a visionary, just coming up with the vision and an executable strategy. You then have to ensure that it is communicated throughout all levels of the organization. In your family, you must communicate the vision to inspire others and make sure that all are accountable to that vision. Communication. This means giving direction, receiving feedback. You may be good, but you don't have all the answers. So communication. Be in charge, have free-flowing communication throughout your organization so that it can sense and respond to its environment to better inform the decisions that we made, to make sure our action plans are producing the result that we want, and to make sure that we are still working on the right decision. See, this thing flows upwards and backwards. It's not unilateral in any particular manner. Meetings. Opportunities. I wrote that wrong. I literally just really realizing that I had that written wrong. So let's do that. They find opportunities to expand or opportunities to move themselves forward. And that means you have to have a creative framework. Remember earlier I talked about the fast and slow thinking, but there's also other frameworks that we can use to teach our mind how to think about problems. And when we look at problems differently, we see the challenges as opportunities. And then meetings. It is necessary, remember we talked before about communication, you have to communicate. Sometimes this involves meetings. So we have a responsibility to ensure that our meetings are timely, executed to a high level, and accomplishes some specific objectives. We don't hold meetings for the sake of having meetings. We've all been there. No one likes that, right? So again, each of these we're going to break them down in future videos, but when we do meet, they're for specific objectives, and they last only as long as we need to, and we hold them in manners that fit the times. Sometimes it's not a physical meeting, it's an online meeting. All right, we do what we need to do to deal with the problem at hand. All problems don't deserve everyone in a boardroom or get all employees together. All problems don't need that. So the effective meeting structure. And lastly, effective leaders. I said last, but really this kind of belongs at the top. They understand the importance of we rather than the I. They accept responsibility for the failures. They give out responsibility for successes to their direct reports and to those people further along the chain. They empower others. That's part of that communication. They empower and inspire others. It's not about them. Or they understand their huge responsibility. They are part of a team charged with moving that team forward. They accept responsibility for the failures and happily give congratulations to their teammates and subordinates when it's that time. When the good things are, everyone's pouring champagne, they deflect and let others bask in that enjoyment. So again, make yourself an effective leader and entrepreneur. Again, these things are not specific to any field. The most effective leaders and entrepreneurs follow this format. And again, we'll delve in each one a little bit more in the future. Focus on the what in your life. What needs to be done. Then focus on, the second thing was focus on the right thing, because there's lots of things that we could do. Let's focus on the right one. Number 3, develop an action plan to solve the right problem. Step number 4, have a framework for making good decisions. Use fast or slow thinking depending on what we're dealing with. Communication. You must become an excellent communicator and use frameworks for disseminating information rapidly and appropriately for the environment. Look for opportunities based on the framework. We're going to have challenges. Find the opportunity that exists even in the failures, especially in the failures. Hold effective meetings. And lastly, perhaps most importantly, be a we person. What can we accomplish together? Look what we did. Inspire. Be an inspiring leader to make yourself a visionary leader and effective leader. Again, my name is Dale Myers with Vision Advance. Please leave a comment below. Which of these areas are you struggling with right now? Or which ones are you nailing, hitting this thing out of the park? I'd love to hear about it. Please like, share the video with someone, guys. We are all improving as we get there. If you have some other things you think that would benefit, please leave that in the description below. I am in no way trying to pretend that I am better than you. I am just trying to pay it forward, give some practical insights. Love you guys. Let's keep working, serving our families, improving our communities by first improving ourselves. Increase our leadership capacity. That is my promise to you. Head on over to www.visionadvance.com. We'd love to help you get better. Y'all take care.